addressing pain that you have in your own hand and wrist. I go through this a lot. I'm a body worker, I'm a massage therapist. I work with my hands in a very visceral, active way. Now, you might just be typing all day, you might be cleaning people's teeth, or a surgeon, or I don't know, any number of professions. We're all on our devices, we're all at keyboards. Hand and wrist pain is exceedingly common. Carpal tunnel is a real problem. So I'm just going to go through some of my own self-care today. I'm going to focus on my left hand and wrist. It's giving me a lot of pain. I'm feeling it all the way from my shoulder down through my forearm and especially into my hand. So just some things to think about. I like to do some stretching. I like to do some active strengthening. And then I like to get into the tissues a little bit. Okay, so just going to warm it up. Just going to mobilize the wrists every which way. Not going to push it. It's not complicated. Circles with the wrists. Stretch out fingers. Close the hands. Open the hands. Close. Open. Really reach through. And I really feel it in my left side, even just doing this. Always good to remember to breathe when you're going through things like this. All right, now we're going to challenge this stretch a little bit. I'm going to take this wrist down and push it into the stretch. I want to stretch out all of these flexors on this side, extensors on this side. Just going to pull that down and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we'll take it into the I did it again. Now we're going into the flexor side. We're going to turn it this way, pull down. We want to feel it all here on the back of your upper arm. Now, you can do this just by holding with the opposite hand. You can also, say I want to go back to stretch this side, you could get up, push both hands actually, get the stretch on both sides, down on the table. You could also do this against a wall. And you could do it at different angles against the wall. You have a lot of options here. You can do it on the ground, against the floor, similar to this. I'm going to stretch these out now as well. Ugh. From here, I can kind of give my elbow a little reverse bend and get a different angle of stretch here. Okay, shake that out. Now I'm just going to get into the hand a little bit. This might seem kind of obvious, but it's not something we often take the time to do. So I'm just going to grab the thumb and pull it back. I'm going through each one. Could do this little piggy if you want to. Pulling the index finger back. Just trying to keep all the other fingers on the table. Just pulling one back at a time. Ring. Pinky. Okay. Sometimes I like to do a little bit of in-between stretching too. All right. So I got this stretched out. I got this stretched out. I'm going to do a little bit more of active warm-up. So I think for this, I'm just going to grab a little squeezy ring. It's very simple. I mean, you could just, if you have like a stress ball or something, you could squeeze that, or even just a a bunched up towel. You could just something to squeeze against. These are nice because they come in different gauges. They're very affordable. I'm just going to give this a little bit of resistance, activate the muscles in my hand. And not just my hand, but so much of what operates your hand exists up here. Okay. Let's give this about 10 squeezes. Now, a lot of us think to strengthen our hand by squeezing, but we often forget to strengthen our opposing muscles by opening. And that's why we have something like this. We can put this on all of our fingers here. And I'm just going to give this about 10 open, sort of reverse of the other motion. 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to try and hold it too. It's a good challenge for all these muscles. Sometimes it's not even the massage techniques that we work through here. Sometimes it's just the stretching and strengthening on a regular basis that really makes a huge difference. Okay, so we got some stretches, we got some strengthening, activating these muscles. I think I'm ready to go into some just practical self-care, things that I would do without tools. I do have a variety of tools over here. I'm not going to touch those yet. I'm going to... That was the GoPro falling from the ceiling. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to, for the soft tissue, I'm going to apply a little bit of oil. Depending on your skin type, you might not need any at all. But just, I want a little bit of glide here. So I've got some oil in place. My primary move here, my favorite thing to do, is to use the opposing arm on this arm. And I'm just going to lay the troubled arm and hand in question, and I'm going to move slowly along these tissues. When I find areas that really resist, that's an indicator for me to slow down and let it sort of dissolve. The resistance can dissipate over time if you give it the space it needs, the time it needs to adapt, to move at a snail pace here along this forearm. Ooh. All right, second pass, I'm going to squeeze, make a fist, opening and closing my hand while I glide. Opening and closing while I glide here. Ooh. Similarly, I'm going to do this radial and ulnar deviation. You just get more out of it. You can apply the pressure, add the mobilization, just really enhance the work you're doing. I really need this. Ooh. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to move down into this hand actually. So I'm going to get that elbow right into this thumb pad. I'm feeling it. And I just know that this is such a problem area for me and for so many people. I'm going to find a good angle here. This can be pretty intense, so careful with the amount of pressure you apply, but you don't want to hold too much tension up here. You really want to lean in. Let your weight apply the pressure. Once I'm here, I might open and close the hand a little bit. trying to find places where this can sink in even a little bit more. Okay. All right. Glided there. I don't want to forget this side. I'm going to need a little bit more to glide along here. Okay. Coming down here. This is on the extensor side of my forearm. The muscles that lift my wrist like this. Same idea. Gliding nice and slow. Simple but effective. Now, I noticed as I passed with this forearm that there's some very focused tender spots. So I'm actually going to come in with my thumb, just going to grip around my forearm, find one of those spots because I want to address it directly. Right in here. Just, that is intense. That's a lot. I got us pinned down. I'm just gonna move around this tension a little bit. Oh yeah. I don't like to use this hand strength too much, but used with precision and focus and for not too long of a period of time, it can be okay. So, got that all. Oh yeah, that's good. Now, sadly, for this live, I actually have to end it short and cut off my video making for today because I have a client that's about to walk in the door. So, thanks for tuning in if you were here for the live.